bifacial modeling is backed and exactly how this inhomogeneity on the backside will influence the power output. I think all of you guys, if you like to model a bifacial PV system, you would use PV and usually you know how much real radiance loss mismatch you would include in percentage. So it can be 1%, 5%, or most of the guys who have experience, so based on their experience, they put a value, for instance, of 5 or 6%. And actually, this value can be quantified with the modeling. So this is what I'd like to show today. So I'd like to start off by something I think which you are familiar. I'm showing here a real radiance map of the 60-cell module, where each solar cells on the backside of the module sees a different irradiance. This one is measured on Switzerland on the 1st May. And as you can see here, this irradiance homogeneity calculated is 34%. Actually, nowadays, this irradiance map can be either modeled by bifacial or ray tracing, or also can be measured by special models, which also we made at IT Constance. This is very special, customized 60-cell module, which is like a sensor device. You can put it in your field, and you get this irradiance map. So you can put it in this array, for instance, which is running a bifacial in Chicago. So one of the weeks before I was talking about Marcus. And from this solar panels, we can also draw this irradiance map. So this device actually I had the opportunity to explore this irradiance mismatch. So the question is how this will affect our output. So you have a bifacial module and you have the other input as well as this mismatch on the backside. How will be your IV curve? And another question also I asked is when we use the IV data on the PV module, actually such file, which value you would take a real radiance, so from this real radiance value, so the minimum or the mean. Because as you all know, that this equation, so effective radiance for the bifacial module is calculated using the front radiance as well as the back radiance. So the question is, we use the minimum value on the backside or the mean value. So scientifically talking, since the solar cells are connected in series, some think that the minimum value is right, but other scientists think that the minimum value will lead to underestimation, therefore they use the mean value. So this is what also, thanks to this device, I would like to address today. So in order to solve this question of mean or minimum, I used 3 simulation procedures. So the first one, I used the AV data of the bifacial module plus the mean value of the backside radiance. And the second way, I used the minimum radiance, using also the AV data of the module. And the third way, which I elaborated, I used AV data of solar cell and the exact irradiance value of each solar cell within 60-cell module. Actually, for the C method, I need to use another electrical circuit, which is a Bishop model. I cannot use the previous one. So the A and B, I use the normal one. But for me, the C, I need to use the Bishop model, and Bishop model has in series with the same resistance. So we should use the multiplication factor, which allows us to describe a solar cell in the reverse bias. So here is an example where he took the real radiance map from this measuring device. And as I mentioned, I would use the method A, which takes the minimum irradiance, and method B takes the mean radiance. And method C actually needs to know also about the module. So how many groups within the module, how many bypass layers you have. And this is method C also. So this is an additional information is needed when I use method C. While the method A and B, which use the data sheet of the solar panel, does not need to know this information. So here are some examples of some numerical examples. So with method A, we will have an effective radiance of 1,466, while the method B will have a bit more because we use the mean radiance. While for method C, they need to define the effective radiance for each cell in the module. So we'll end up with a new real radiance map, which I call the effective irradiance map. So here are the results. So here I'm sharing the results of 3 methods. So the cell result of IV, I mean the method C, and the module result of IV, I mean with the minimum value on the backside, and then module result of IV using the mean irradiance. So what we can see here on the left figure, that in terms of VOC, we hardly see a difference. There is a difference in terms of IOC, the short circuit current. And also in terms of power, so the right figure, we have seen that the cell resolved IV comes in between using the module resolved IV with the minimum value and the module resolved IV with average value. Looking right now numerically, so especially in power, that we found that the mean value overestimates a little bit. So when we compare to cell resolved IV by 1.2%, while the minimum irradiance method, or using the minimum irradiance on the backside, leads to very high underestimation of 3.6%. So in conclusion, neither mean nor minimum approach gives the same result as the cell-by-cell method. However, the mean value or using the average on the backside leads to similar results to cell-by-cell method. Another thing explored also is the field measure data of real radius and homogeneity. So these solar panels, which is mounted in default, can measure different field angles, the backside radius, and we can also calculate the overall or the real radius in homogeneity. So as you can see here, the figure shows the on y-axis the real radius in homogeneity for a given time step as fraction of field angle, and also I did this exercise for different days. So for the fused fraction, 12%, 80%, and 99%. So it means sunny day, cloudy day, and overcast day. So you can see clearly that the real radius in homogeneity decreases with increasing the fused fraction. So in cloudy days, we'll have lower in homogeneity than sunny days. And another thing we've seen that this real radius in homogeneity is still angle dependent. And in order to have some magnitude about this in homogeneity, here we are getting from 7% to 35% of real radius in homogeneity values. This is field measure data. And the next thing is how much this impacts the power. Actually, before doing this, I asked the question, what does it matter more? Actually, the real radius homogeneity or overall homogeneity. We know this real radius homogeneity, which we measured. So we calculated from measured data is 34% to 34%. But in the end, since we are looking to the power and the bifacial model, it's a single junction where we have also the front side. It makes more sense to talk in terms of overall homogeneity. So when I calculated the overall inhomogeneity, this inhomogeneity actually dropped to 60%. So this is a significant drop, which means the front side contribution is very relevant and important. Therefore, for the next modeling, I will use the concept of overall inhomogeneity instead of only rear side inhomogeneity. So in order to quantify this, actually, we generated a lot of data. So we had the global horizontal radius and diffuse measured on the field, so weather data. We put this into MoBiDiG, and then we generated a lot of days with different diffuse fractions. And also we did this exercise for 3 different altitudes to see how is the impact of this real radius homogeneity on the power in terms also of altitude. So we calculate the mismatch losses using this method C. So with method A and B I cannot do this, so we have to use method C. And here I have the results. So here I'm showing on the y-axis the power loss mismatch as well as function of overall homogeneity, so not only real side, but overall homogeneity. As I mentioned, I did this exercise for 3 altitudes. So from the extreme left is 20%, and the middle is 50%, and on the extreme right, the figure is 80%. As you can see here, for all of our figures shows a really very high quadratic relationship between power loss mismatch as well as inhomogeneity. And what we've seen, if you put all the figures together, since we use the same installation configuration, the only difference is the albedo we've seen at the higher albedo, so the higher overall homogeneity, so by consequence, the higher power loss mismatch. So actually, this correlation is kind of very important because I get a discrete simulation to get this figure. So since we have this kind of empirical relationship, this will allow us to make a discrimination for each simulation in the later. And they had also the opportunity to do the same exercise, but using right now, instead of using here, I used overall homogeneity model data. I had the opportunity to use like this device and use the overall homogeneity with visual data. So here I'm showing the measured overall homogeneity and also I calculated the power loss mismatch. So as we can see here, as we found the simulation, the most measured values of homogeneity falls in the range of 0 to 3%. Which has been also shown in simulation, and the same quadratic relationship has been found. So I take an example, what I was showing since the beginning, so this plot at this specific time snap, we have an overall homogeneity of 6.3%, which leads us to 1.2% losses in power. Yeah, by this I would like to summarize comparison between PV module solved IV curve as well as the mean value irradiance on the minimum shows that using the average in the backside with the PV module data leads to quite similar result to cell result IV method. And the field measurement data confirms that the percentage of irradiance inhomogeneity actually depends on the condition of the day, and the values from 7% to 35% on the backside homogeneity has been measured. When it comes to power mismatch loss, actually it makes more sense to talk about overall homogeneity instead of only for irradiance homogeneity. And also we have this higher, very high quality relationship as we call it between power loss mismatch as well as inhomogeneity. And we have also shown that the higher albedo leads to higher mismatch loss in power. And from this analysis, I can say that the most likely power loss in mismatch due to irradiance does not exceed 0.5%. By this, I would like to thank you. I would like also to announce that for some would like to play around MoBiDiG. Actually, in the first quarter of 2020, we are releasing a UI interface of user interface of MoBiDiG, where user can make different analysis using the picture. Yeah, thank you.
Talk. Can you give, in terms of your results, you showed inhomogeneity in a landscape format. Can you comment on what would be the effect if you have the model on portrait? Is there sensitivity to the orientation?
We did do this, but we do simulation as you see and difference. Yeah, but with this one so far, with this modeling, so we don't have the possibility to put it vertical, but with the model only not measured to show the difference.
So based on the fact that you tend to see inhomogeneity as a function of height rather than, would you recommend portrait versus landscape? I mean, what do you say about that?
Yeah, actually, so based on the modeling itself, because we've seen the result in measured with the modeling, we've seen kind of the same thing. For instance, if you have a portrait, but the gradient still remains. So I mean, like the losses you will have almost the same losses with this gradient because still the bottom cells performs, and then you still have this gradient. So maybe you should think another, not only making a modern portrait, but also reducing or making a different interconnection with these cells inside the memory. This is going to be better solution to mitigate this mismatch.
We're run out of time already. We had the schedule, so let's thanks to the speaker.